out of this damn tiebreaker.
No, we live here now, Purge. This is our new home. All we do is cast Dota forever and ever.
I clearly want TSM to win this so that we never stop casting today.
I want TSM to win this because they're a lot of fun.
They are. That is true.
I would not be sad if Team Spirit won this either, though. They're excellent Dota.
That's the toughest thing about sending people home
it's
in
very
tournaments.
Tough, yeah.
Not that anybody from Group B is going home, but this is going to change up their slot placement. The worst performer of this tiebreaker, it's going to be a Toro right here.
Ooh, right into all of TSM. And Bryle's going to start off with a great mid lane.
They were in a perfect place to get that. They're going to ping their ward saying, thank you, ward. You have to always ping your wards after you get a kill like this. Now they're going to deny it because pretty easy D-ward, anticipating that. The worst thing as well is that anti-mage skilled blink level 1 to try to stay alive there. It was close, but he was not able to get out. And they're going to get back to their lanes pretty quick too, which means that still 2 bounties for them most likely.
With the fate of the universe and the pride of 10 people on the line.
The pride of 10 people. I was like, the pride of 10 people watching this game is I thought what he was going to say. Did you hear the announcer pack?
I did, yes.
Okay. You were dead there when I said something?
No,
so
I was listening.
Like,
I was listening to it. I'm also trying to tune out slacks in the other room. It's very hard.
Literally, it's in my bones. I can.
It's so hard. Anyways, though, we get those runes picked up. We've got some vision placed over here on the side. And it's interesting. They've actually sent Yatoro top.
Yeah, they want to lane him against the Dragon Knight is why they sent him top. They do not want to lane him against the... Or maybe he just feels safer up here. I don't know, because Tomato's offlane now. I guess they just dodged him is what happened.
I guess, yeah. Oh, that courier, though, is going to fall.
But I thought that it would be better for AM to lane against the Dragon Knight. Maybe not the case.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, to be quite honest. But they're doing a decent amount of just pressure and harass over on TSM. Perhaps the idea of, that the Night Stalker isn't going to be quite as scary during the first early bits and it's just going to allow Yatoro to hit creeps. I'm not 100% sure, honestly. You have to be careful of Dubu, who just continuously is throwing out these Nether Blasts, but it's going to run out of mana eventually.
It's fine. For now, he's just trying to get AM low before he gets a lot of counterspell levels. In fact, he's going to pull the creep wave all the way around. It's normally what the support does, but Yatoro in this case wants to get these last hits. So Mira will hold the creep wave, pick up whatever's left of his wave, and try to deny farm from his opponents. Oh, the day grab at the perfect moment. Resets the creep wave. The range creep is going to go all the way back, do some weird stuff, probably get denied away from his opponent. Mira will play for it, probably scatter blast that, but Yatoro still trying to hold the creep wave outside of the tower. Otherwise, he may lose it. Mira's courier goes down, though.
Yeah, they're losing a bunch of these couriers. How's the mid lane going, though? We'll check in with Toronto, Tokyo, and Bryle. They've got the water runes down on the ground. Looks like we're going to be seeing bottles coming out. We already have the bottle over on Toronto.
Top. He's dead.
Yep, they do indeed get the kill on Dubu. So this aggression, I think, is paying off already.
Look, I watched that from the beginning, and I was like, oh, there's no way they kill Dubu. They're just pressuring him. Anti-mage was still level 1, and he's like, he blinks aggressively. He's attacking. But Mira hit 2, and as a result had Scatter Blast and Fire Snap Cookie. And with that, they were able to right-click Dubu all the way down. So now Moon Meander rotates to top to stabilize Saberlight, and you're going to see Dubu going bottom now. So a little bit of a switch up.
Do we like the swap like this? I feel like Tomato, I guess Tomato at this point, yeah, he's just have that 1 point in the Dragon Blood. He's got himself the Dragon Tail. So fairly survivable. And
it's probably fine, yeah. I mean, they're going to give way more regen to the Night Stalker, which means he can just offset this by just slapping Anti-Mage all the time. He does not really care. His armor's pretty high. He's already got a bracer, so pairing regen on top of that means he just beats up on AM, keeps his HP low, and there's no way that he gets a kill as a result. But on the other side, I guess it's just fine for Pugna to be here. He's going to offset Bane a little bit. Dragon Knight's going to be fine against Bloodseeker, although Pugna might be in trouble now.
Yeah, Bloodright's got the Decrepify on. Gonna have to run away. Tomato's here. We'll use the Dragon Tail, try to protect Dubu a little bit more. Breathe Fire gets used. He's got a salve. It's gonna get canceled out. They need a little bit more damage. The Bloodright on the ground should be enough to kill Dubu, so he will end up dying here in this bottom lane.
That was really close, though. Decreps himself before he got silenced. Took no physical damage, but Collapse did a great job leading things off. Another Nightmare. They're not done. More damage into Dragon Knight.
They are indeed going to continue to chase, but Tomato, he's by his tower. Doesn't look like they're going to go for that dive just yet. And Pugnut rejoining has a nice treat here for Tomato. Will salve him up.
Great
and he
pressure.
brings some of the items along too.
Yeah, did a nice job damaging him. Outlane him just a bit. A little brain sap as well once he ticks over to 3. So Tomato's still being pressured pretty hard in the lane. In the mid lane, Brylson 24-4 versus the 20-4 Storm, which is about the same. They're sitting just fine. But close game still.
Yeah, it feels like everyone's just being super patient. Especially when you consider the fact that, you know, it's going to be a little bit before Saberlight's going to be able to start making these rotations. But I like the way that they're playing. I like that both teams are still, you know, using this little bit of aggression to kind of harass one another. And just, you know, picking up these runes over here for both the mid laners. Toronto, Tokyo, very, very closely behind Bryle. 29-7 for CS, 26-4. It's gonna do a little casual jungling for now.
Moonme under a little pressured here top lane. This could be scary for him here. Saberlight does rotate over though.
Have to watch out for that courier too. Oh.
He's gonna scout out the stacks. That's a 3 stack here. First nighttime, Saberlight might want to get a little active. Is this his boots? It is. So he's got boots now. Definitely makes pressuring Mira a little easier, but with this rotation over the mid lane, he's going to hold this. Toronto Tokyo just going to finish jungling a little bit right before he dies to Ancient. Ooh, that was really close.
Dubu drops that ward. He is going to fall. Now they're going to have the teleports coming out though. Bryle joining in.
So
Start
fast.
chasing after Collapse. Collapse sitting so very low, but he's just like you said, he's too fast. They're not going to be able to get their hands on him.
He doesn't even have boots, and he's super, super speedy. Incredible.
That's a teleport now that came out from Bryle that didn't end up working out for him at all. Just going to be able to go and stack. He's going to want to run into Toronto Tokyo. Unfortunately, Moon not quite the hero that is going to be able to stop him from taking that rune.
That would have been a really good one for Leshrac. It's really good on Storm too, but Leshrac, it's incredible. Because you can just jungle for so long with it.
Tomato in the bottom lane. They're going to try to rotate over the Io. Moon showing up just in time here, but this Bloodseeker going to be very, very fast with how low Tomato's sitting.
It definitely helps a lot. But he's thinking about attempting to kill now. He's going to do a side pull instead.
Steal some of these stacks here too. That's a very long voice line.
It is.
My goodness. I don't have the persona.
Oh, really? That's too bad. Guess you can never be an anti-mage player now. It's the only thing holding you back.
Yes, that was the only thing. Bryle, though, making the rotation. Toronto Tokyo gonna have to ball lightning away.
Looks like he stole the stacks from before.
Stole a decent amount. Mira, though, is looking a little bit scary. Does have the cookie hop, though, so Bryle gonna chase after here. Has that Pulse Nova. He's a little bit more damage. Should be enough to finish off the Cookie Grandma. He's using everything, even uses the Fairy Fire, but nope, they'll make this rotation definitely work. And Bryle's got that little bit of clarity still on him. He's got the crane boots now.
He knew what was coming.
Bottom lane, Moon Meander getting attacked by Collapse and Maposhka. Gonna drop down the Blood Rite, trying to just break these ankles a little bit. We'll be able to tether over, but they have the Brain Sap. Collapse, again, he's pretty fast Tomato doing some of those body blocks, so Collapse says, yeah, you know what, I don't even want it. I just want to hit these creeps.
Yeah, he pressed salve at the perfect moment there. I thought it was going to get broken, but he knew his limits there. Heals back up to full. Continues to stabilize Tomato's laning stage. And as a whole, everything's pretty close, with the exception of Brawley. He's got those 2 kills so far in this game, so he is sitting pretty well. 400 gold advantage over his opponents. Gets a little D-ward on his own ward. Nice heads-up play there. Keeps some golden experience away from Mira, who's almost level 5, but really is going to want to hit 6 here. Ooh, he might be in trouble.
Ooh, nice cookie hop. Moon Meander following up immediately. Can they turn this back around? Mira sitting very low. Toronto Tokyo sitting so low as is Maposhka. Luckily, that haste will keep the storm alive. Yatoro jumping in, though. They try to get a couple hits over onto Bryle, and they find the kill. Oh, Yatoro.
No
sitting
way.
so low, then Mira finishing off on Moon Meander. I wouldn't be surprised if I went for a little bit of a dive here. Over onto Dubu, hiding into the tree line, throwing down that blast. Throw, cookie hop forward, doesn't quite connect, but they do manage to find themselves Dubu, so it gets off the Decrepify, continues to hide in the tree line. Looks like they're gonna back off and focus on hitting these creeps and just walk away.
Dubu is so good at being annoying. It's actually incredible how effective he was there. I thought for sure he's going to get killed, but not. The decrep, once the cookie misses, he's just safe from the anti-mage. And ultimately, Moon really pushed the limits of that bottom Rune fight. Kept Leshrac alive for so long, but once AM showed up, danger was there. And even with all the magic sticks that they had and the magic wands, it was just still too much damage on the Lesh. They're pressuring top, though.
They are. They're going after Yatoro, and there is going to be the rotation, though, coming out from Storm. Toronto Tokyo jumping forward, sees Bryo, wants to go and hold him into place. Yatoro having to be careful to go drop that onto the ground. Bryo will fall. Saberlight, is he going to be able to make it out? He just barely does.
Nice reaction.
That is the rupture, though, being used by Collapse. A good rotation coming out from the side of Team Spirit, as they're going to put more pressure on the tower, steal themselves Bounty Rune, and just see what information that they can find. But they do have a ward over here, too, so.
I love the speed that Yatoro turned. After he was the guy getting dived, he was like the first to back on him, you know? It's like they're chasing him down. He blinks in like, let's go, guys. It's time to party. Pressure on the mid lane with Mira.
Yeah, they'll find Mira, but he's already gotten his dewarding off, so the end of the world, but do have to be careful that you don't start giving too many kills over here to Saberlight. Top tower, meanwhile, being pressured. They've already taken the tower in the bot lane. Still very close.
It really is. Next nighttime is going to matter. The first one was okay for TSM. Getting Leshrac killed, not the best situation, but the game is still very, very close in terms of net worth. Tomato accelerating a little bit towards Blink Dagger. Once he gets that, you will see more pressure, and that's going to make things a little easier because once Night Stalker pops his ultimate, Dragon Knight's being able to initiate. It's going to allow Dubu to choose a fight with Nether Ward and possibly also set up a relocate. They're going to do Blink, Stun, Relo. Somebody dies into that if you can plan ahead.
They're trying to make somebody die over here in the mid lane, but the Snapfire Kisses are raining down Hellfire, so they'll back off for a moment. But now that they know they're down, you can see Saberlight trying to get to position, hoping perhaps they'll get a little greedy and stick around too long, but they've already left. Just Mira over here. Poshka makes his way over, immediately the nuke. Turns around with the Counterblast. We'll slow down a little bit, but Bryl's here. They'll get one throughout the Nightmare, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to do damage. And they're still hunting. They want Mira. Saberlight just chasing after the Snapfire. Tomato going to be joining in as well. They're just ignoring Yatoro. They have no interest in really trying to do anything, as they do end up losing Moon Meander. But now Dubu placing down the ward. Will they go up onto the high ground? It looks like they're not going to. Just gonna get the jump over onto Dubu, but the rest of the team is here. They have that Decrepify. Tomato wants to close the gap, doesn't have that blink just yet, so perhaps they can go get their hands on Collapse, but it's looking pretty good. We'll end up using the Rupture, but doesn't really matter.
Really nicely done.
Oh, but they're still poking over here, Toronto Tokyo. Tomato is going to try to get as much harass as possible, but does need to be careful. Yatoro is here, so is Mira. The cookie hop forward will go and land over to Tomato. Dubu dropping the ward. Throwing out another Decrepify. Bryle making his way over here with Moon. Another Dragon Tail over to Yatoro, but I think they're a bit hesitant to go hard on this because of the fact that they don't have that lockdown necessary to pin down this anti-mage right now.
Yeah, Lesh can't come forward and continue that chain stun, so this is the right thing to do. They're still getting some stuff in, some map pressure. AM is having to show up to these fights, and maybe he's gotten a kill earlier, but they're not all securing kills. So, yeah, this is ultimately fine for TSM FTX with these small advantages. And they've almost got Dark Ascension again, and a few short minutes until the next nighttime phase. So, ultimately, things still going well for them. Trying to finish Mech on Moon Meander is in the works. He's just needs the recipe. So if the next nighttime goes well, I think things are looking pretty up for TSM.
Bryle getting very lucky here. Did manage to find himself that fairy trinket. It's going to have the Yules very shortly. There's the Blink Dagger, though, completed now for Tomato. So we're going to start seeing these classic initiations coming out from the Dragon Knight, I have a feeling.
That's right. No Inkswell follow-up, unfortunately, but the Relo ones
Fortunately
are fun
for Team
too.
Spirit, that is... They're probably happy that they don't have to deal with that nonsense.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised to see Spirit points coming out of the IO, but maybe they're a little worried about their damage output or something.
Maybe.
Usually you don't see it. You max overcharge or tether first, but you want some output, I guess.
So they're smoked up over on the side of TSM. They know somebody's going to eventually come over here to this tower, and ooh, they want to turn on to Tokyo. Dark Ascension gets popped. They do see Mira, blink forward from Tomato, followed up with a lot of damage from Saberlight, and that'll be a nice kill collected as they're looking for more. Yatoro sitting a little bit low, but again, they'll need a lot to keep him in place, so.
Ooh, almost gets to interrupt the TP. He's hunting the courier, though. That's a good one.
Mid tower will go down over on the side of Spirit, so TSM is going to be able to open themselves up the triangle. Oh yeah, that's jump over onto Saberlight. They'll be able to cancel the TP, and they'll find themselves a kill on the Night Stalker. But the Yule's coming to play. Brow getting to position. We'll be able to go step Toronto Tokyo, but they go throughout the Nightmare. Mapochka next to fall. He's going to try to step away. He's sitting so very low, and they've got plenty of AoE damage, but they needed to get there a little bit faster, a little bit closer. So they still know he's over there. Mira hoping maybe they'll take some attention to them instead of Collapse, but nope, they're going to focus up and continue their push over into this area of the side of the Radiant.
Good escape. But,
Collapse is still here.
Oh, they're relocating.
They're
gonna gank that illusion.
They're ganking, yep, but they find the real one over here. Dubu says, uh-oh, guys. Could use some help. The pings are coming through.
He's kind of in a weird spot.
He's a fast little skelly man with those tranquil boots. Look at him go.
He's trying to run to Moon Meander there.
Pugna go brrr.
Does go a little bit speedy here.
Uh-oh, they've managed to find themselves Mapochka. Split Earth, plus all the damage. Another kill here for Bryle. This Leshrek really paying off for them here.
Yeah, he's doing really good. 6, 2, and 2. The Yule Scepter helping to guarantee those Storm setup kills. He doesn't have to worry about survivability as much either, like you normally would, unless you'd be like desperate to get a BKB. That way when you run in, you don't die. But he's got an IO to cover him. So extra heals being output, extra mana as well. He kind of just gets to have a fun Leshrac game. More than normal at least. But this is a great tower to kill as a Dire team because it's going to help you contest Roshan later. Your opponents won't be able to TP as close if they get outmaneuvered. So that's always a play that TSM is going to be looking for.
Are we concerned at all with the fact that they haven't really slowed down Yatoro that much?
Not really. Obviously, it matters in a lot of cases against a hard carry. And anti-mages farming okay. But I think they did okay against him in the lane.
Opening, they see Moon Meander. Brow going to try to go and land the silence. Drop down the blood right. The zip away from Toronto Tokyo. But they've got the heal going on as Mapochka will fall. And the chase. Well, that's the Atos getting tossed out here from Collapse. He's completed it. They want Mira, though, Bryle. They jump around the corner. All right, he's just going to go get relocated as Mira will fall. And they get themselves that double kill on Tomato.
God, when they press Dark Ascension, it is so good for TSM FTX. They use it to dive tier 1 towers. In this case, Team Spirit wants to kill the Leshrac, but he's getting overcharged. Then they pump the heal through the IO to double heal the Leshrac. And it's, who needs Grimstroke when you got Pugna IO? It's basically the same thing, but defensive. And they've got Mech completed on IO. He's got Arcane Ring. So they just have a huge amount of sustain that's making Bryle get in a great position. And he keeps finding setups with the Yule's Scepter. Yule's into stun, into fighting, and he's not dying. So keep taking small advantages over Team Spirit. But it's definitely not over. If Team Spirit wins a commanding team fight, it's going to translate to towers and possibly Roshan.
I thought for sure that they had gotten that kill on Moon over there. But yeah, like you said, the quick follow-up, having the Pugna there to get the double heal going down as well. Just really nicely played out, coming out from TSM. Interested to see where the next moves are coming out, because they are making their way towards the bottom. Collapse is already leaving the area, doesn't want to have to deal with this, as immediately Bryle and Moon Meander will cut the wave and let them have a little bit more time with this tower.
This is a huge tower kill if they can get it.
Yeah.
They will.
The BKB is coming for Saberlight too. That's actually so scary for the side of Team Spirit.
Still has to be careful about Rupture, but
Rupture and the Phoenix Grip, but Tomato in the middle lane does see Toronto Tokyo, and I think they don't know exactly who's over here. So they're going to scatter on the side of Team Spirit.
I actually like that jump there, because they didn't really necessarily know how soon TSM was going to get there. They had relocate available, right? And I don't know if they were trying to fake initiate, but they're going back in this time.
They are going, looking for a pick here.
Well,
Saberlight. Oh, they'll turn their attention over to Mapochka. And they'll just take out a support. Slowly but surely, they'll drop the fireball, and there it is. That's
Oh, they got
down,
Mirror
and
as
they
well.
do manage to find Mirror over in the tree line. Ryle chasing after here. Should be able to find it. He is just dominating.
And they're just pressuring it
They're
all
going
over.
after. They're still chasing after Yatoro. Like Yatoro though biting back over onto Saberlight, but there is Dubu Nubrai. He's already dropped that Nether Ward. Lapse is here. A little bit of the heal coming back in. They're pushing Team Spirit out of their triangle. This is getting to be a very small map.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job running at their opponents all the time. They've only got 6 more kills, but it feels to me like they're significantly far ahead in terms of what they're accomplishing. Making Team Spirit run all across the map. Toronto does retake his shrine at least to help their trickle of experience gain. But what's going to happen now is they're just going to live in the enemy tri-camp. Oh, they grabbed AM.
They grab AM, and they've also seen Saberlight as they get the Fiend's Grip off. Yatoro is going to be fine, but there's the kisses coming in hot as Team Spirit will force TSM away.
Yeah, and that's where TSM wants to play. They basically need to play tri-camp. They need to de-ward the wards, and they need to push out the mid lane and the top lane. It's very standard for Dire team to play this way when they're ahead. By doing so, it helps cover Roshan, because the place that Team Spirit, the Radiant team, wants to play from is from tri-camp to Rosh, since it's close. So they've got their early advantage. They're playing that really effectively. Now they just need to make sure that they don't give their opponents Aegis. And in that case, they had a great jump. Storm jumps in, pulls the Night Stalker. They had a stun follow-up on Cookie, I think, and then did a bunch of damage afterwards. Or actually, it was Grip, excuse me. Grip stun. So no BKB, a little kill, and that's going to take slight pressure off the map.
Do manage to move out around the map on the side of Team Spirit. Try to get a little bit more space, try to get a little bit more farm online. They're getting closer to the BKB over on Storm, so it's going to be harder to lock him down. He's not going to have to worry so much about that silence. He's got a double damage in the bottle for a rainy day.
He just couldn't decide what neutral items he wanted. It's like, well, I do want this Vambrace, but I also like the Nether Shawl, and now an Essence Ring. Oh, so many choices. If I was AM, I'd make
The
it
relocate coming in. Poshka's going to fall, and they still see Yatoro, but it's going to have to blink away over to the corner. Does have the TP available. Do they go in and try to find him, though? Oh, yeah, they do. They do. They hit him with the spirits. It's buying a bit of time, though. So jump forward. They have the Dragon Tail over to Yatoro. Again, they need more lockdown than that. Now Tomato try to run away. Dubu's here. We'll be able to put out the Decrepify. Go for the Mana Void. And just keep clicking away over at Tomato. They've got the Atos. That should be the end of him, but there is a little side fight going on, as it looks like they were poking a bit over at Mira.
Yeah, they can't TP on Night Stalker. That's why TSM has not been taking this fight fully here.
Oh, and the zip forward now onto the bottom lane, onto Saberlight's gonna use the Dark Ascension. Move himself out. That teleport is off a cooldown here, so gonna try to TP away. Do they have the They do have the Atos. All right, there it is. There's the BKB from Saberlight. He is going to defensively use it and just run away.
That was pretty expensive, but a nice pressure on him. Oh, he's got a shard. Actually, just ate a creep.
Oh yeah, the Hunter in the Night.
Yeah, we don't see it too often, but it's a great way to give lane sustain.
Walk right into Mira here. That is a midnight snack there.
It is. A little mistake from him, not anticipating Night Stalker retreating. Maybe they thought he TP'd back to base or something, but... All right, but Team Spirit is making up some ground. Arcane.
Oh, the Arcane Room, but they're going to pay for it as they go and drop the Rupture over onto Brawl with the BKB over to Rupture. Look at this heal, though. This heal is actually insane, keeping Brawl alive for much longer than I think anybody was anticipating. Yatoro chasing after him here. They'll go for the Mana Void over onto Brawl. He's somehow still alive. He's alive. They get takedown. But they take down Yatoro, and Brawl's going for more. He wants Toronto Tokyo. It's not quite enough heal, but the rest of the team is here, and Toronto Tokyo realizes that he is going to fall. Now collapse. He's he's throwing out the high five. He's like, yeah, you want to come get me? They're like,
he's like,
no.
you're not gonna, like, we both know you're not gonna kill me. You're a dragon on
You're
an
a
isle.
Dragonite.
Like, come on, it's like let's just go home, back to where we're supposed to.
Dude, that heal was insane though. That kept her alive for so long.
It was the mech, the magic stick on Io, and then right before he dies, he gets decrept by Dubu, and then Am's sitting there like, please just die. And his bloodstone was going, so he was getting extra spell lifesteal on top of that. And they're actually, the shard is finished on Io. That's the other thing. So
oh, that's big.
yeah, and that's what's so cool about the shard on Io. Actually, they share spell lifesteal with its tethered target. So that means he's got all the spell lifesteal from Bloodstone. Just double goes back to him too, because he's healing from the Bloodstone spell lifesteal. It goes up to 50%. He's getting extra 10 from Io. So of this like 60% spell lifesteal he's thrown out, he double heals on it. So it's like double the effect of Bloodstone. And this is kind of similar to the abuse that we saw.
Tomato over on the high ground. The jump forward though from Dota2 is immediately punished by Tomato. It's a good nightmare, buying a little bit more time. So he's going to try to drag over onto Bryle, but it's just so much damage that they have to be careful. The physical damage being too much. Mapochka getting left behind here has been silenced up. A Saberlight flapping those wings, chasing after the Blink 4 coming up from Tomato. Should be able to help finish off Collapse.
That was Team Spirit going first, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, they went in. They saw the aisle. They went
Jeez.
in, but the thing is, they didn't see Tomato on the high ground. So when they jumped forward, Tomato just blinked down onto that low ground and was able to stun and start this turnaround over onto Toronto Tokyo.
What a fight.
Yeah, that's going to be an Aegis.
Any free shards on the ground? No, no,
Not
no?
this
Okay.
time. No.
So great position to be for TSM FTX, 4K gold advantage at the moment. No nighttime for a long 30 seconds. Does not have Dark Ascension, but they're having a great game so far.
They really want endless tiebreakers, Purge.
They do. They really do.
Top lane, the jump forward over onto Saberlight. Look at these TPs though, they're coming in hot. They've already burned all the mana, but in comes Moon Meander. He's gonna be able to keep Saberlight alive a little bit longer. Tomato jumping in, sees Yato, drops the fireball over onto the Split Earth to come into play. That's gonna be a dead anti-mage. TSM, they just respond so fast that they cannot do anything about it over on the side of Team Spirit.
You know what saved Saberlight actually was his shard. It cost 0 mana to cast it, so he had nothing going on item-wise or mana-wise. He just eats a creep. Heals for 35%. Beautiful.
Ooh,
Keeps him alive.
Mapochka. I don't think that they're going to be able to do too much here to him, though, with that nightmare. All I can think of when you, like, the Hunter in the Night thing, have you ever played The Witcher?
I have not. I watched a TV show, though.
It's a good TV show. But, like, there's a part, like, you get your health back by eating food. Kind of like Skyrim.
No
Zip
way.
forward over onto Saberlight. He's got the BKB. He's going to be held in place, but Tomato is here. They can't stun him. Not with that BKB being up and currently going. Follow up with a good Fiend Script. Should be able to take down Saberlight. Dubu sitting very, very low now. They'll be able to find that kill as well. So BKB is coming into hand here. Being
Hell yeah, he's still using it.
Oh, God.
He's still using it. Dude, okay, other than that amazing fight that Toronto Tokyo did, like, saves BKB till the Dragon Knight stuns, comes out, chases and disables Pugna while also dealing with Night Stalker. That was really cool. With the exception of that moment, Team Spirit has been a little bit overzealous at time, and TSM is making some turns with their powerful heals. But that fight at least went great for Team Spirit.
Yeah, that was definitely a good usage of those BKBs, among other things. Oh yeah, so when you're talking about the Hunter in the Night skill, so a lot of the RPGs, you know, you're gonna end up eating food. So I just imagined this Night Stalker just like cramming food into his face as fast as possible, just like, oh, nom, 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 I have to stay alive.
It's very similar.
That is what I was thinking. Anyways.
While he's getting beat up by an enemy.
Yeah. So that's always cracked me up.
In the middle of my fight, fighting this giant boss, I will eat a creep.
And we have that life drain. Dubu just being the little battery, making sure that he stays nice and healthy. Bottom lane. Get the jump over onto Moon Meander. A little surprised that he's here, but that's the BKB getting used here by Toronto Tokyo. Bryle is going to try to put out a little bit of damage, but again, when you don't have that lockdown, not going to be able to do much against these very mobile heroes that Team Spirit have.
They've done a really good job, like, hitting 2 places at the same time. You know, poking mid with the Rupture. Not really intending to get a kill, but forcing reactions. And then you just have Io thinking that he's more comfortable bottom, or maybe he's looking.
Mira, mid lane. Saberlight and Tomato just gonna go on the hunt. They should be able to get the kill on Mira. And they'll turn their attention over to this mid tower. They do have that one creep, but the fortification is gonna get used, and they need to go home because they're starting to have the anti-mage problem where Yataro's just hitting their buildings. Zip in, back and forth here, coming out from the storm, just clearing up. Dubu sitting so low is gonna have to decrepify himself, but Bryle's teleported home. And there's a lot of damage on this tier 3.
There was, yeah.
Can they cut off this anti-mage? That was the next question,
Well,
Yatra.
they're trying to spot him. They see Night Stalker coming, though.
Well, they'll find themselves Mapochka at the very least, but it's going to ensure that Yatro can make it out alive and not attacked here by the side of TSM.
Yeah, he ran the right direction, all the way to the right. This is why he's been using Dragon Skill this whole time, by the way. Some armor survivability against his opponents, but also his ability to just beat up towers. It's a big damage increase when he gets onto those buildings and starts sieging them.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Just gonna use it again down here too.
Oh, they're hunting though. The smoke over on TSM. The jump forward over onto Collapse. There's a lot of fire all over the ground. BKB comes up from Collapse. He's trying to get out. He's got 30-something hit points. He'll turn around. He gets the rupture of Tomato. He needs to catch him. He's just so damn fast is the problem.
He's still alive. No way.
He's still alive. They couldn't finish him off in time. Saber late though. Going in for a little bit of a snap. He's probably going to fall Teatro here. Though the Decrepify, the life drain coming in. The Mana Void though will be able to finish him off.
He's everywhere. Anti-Mage just jumps in and out, getting these kills. Almost saves him with the heal, but it was just too much damage. That was a big Mana Void AoE too. A great skill right now.
Yeah.
500 radius, that's like the whole team fight.
It's very good against TSM for sure. As Yatron will just teleport out. They don't have the vision. And the Aegis is gonna get reclaimed.
Okay. Well, TSM, or sorry, Team Spirit, what they're doing so well is they're just spreading out TSM. They've basically realized that these last couple of fights, they can't win these engagements versus TSM head on. The heals are just way too powerful. So what they're doing is split pushing like crazy and looking for these pickoffs. And they've done a really good job with the pickoffs in the last couple of fights. The game is even, which means it gets closer to the time period where AM does annoying, super annoying AM stuff. I cannot believe Bloodseeker lived that fight. I was so sure that he was dead. One hit.
He's just too fast. They couldn't get their hands on him quick enough.
I genuinely believe what happened was Saber was like, he's one hit. I'm just going to right click him. I'll get one hit. And then he didn't realize he was getting body blocked. And that is why he lived.
True.
He got body blocked a little bit there. Or he thought his ultimate was active still or something like that. But a little bit of a costly loss there. But Scotty's up on the Anti-Mage now. Incredible item for this game state. This is a big problem because it's going to reduce healing against these ranged heroes. Leshrac is going to be super slowed by this when he gets hit by it. It's a little bit better for Lesh than before. It's only 40% slow instead of 50, but the anti-healing is still 40%. It's heals, health regen, lifesteal, and spell lifesteal. So the bright side is he's going to have, like, you know, 150% heal from the damage he deals. So losing 40% is not the end of the world, but
All right.
And he also bought a Hex to keep an eye on for that. He's going to be able to set up his own chain stuns now.
That's very important. That is the one thing that they've really been lacking over on the side of TSM, is that lockdown for the Anti-Mage. And now they're going to have to just turn around because they've got a Cardi wave over on the top. Someone's got to go deal with that.
Looks like it'll be Saberlight for now. They almost caught the Bane, but he got out in time. Dragon Knight holding his eye on mid lane. If they spot anybody, there's going to be a relocate.
Smoke play of their own coming through here. A little bit of a zip back and forth coming out from Toronto, Tokyo.
Yeah, going for the safe long distance ball lightning so he doesn't get killed. So not opting to go for Ags just yet. Still sitting on the Witchblade. The quad nulls, BKB in the backpack when he's ready to fight. And he actually wants to buy a Scythe of Vice. Curiously. Maybe a little bit weirder than we normally see on Storm Spirits, but
I think the lockdown will be good, though, to have. A little bit of a scan. They realize that there's someone over there. It is just Maposhka. Not the target I think that they necessarily want.
yeah,
This Anti-Mage, they are having Anti-Mage problems now.
yeah, he's getting on the towers a bit. They still have great heroes for setting up on him, but
They gotta catch him.
yeah, they have to catch him. Blink range is very long. His survivability is pretty high right now. And their follow-up is basically relocate. Night Stalker can disable him for a bit, but they have to be there with lots of other heroes to get the kill. And it's not just disable, it's disable and damage too. But
They're using a lot of smokes over the side of TSM because they're really hoping that they can show off this this lockdown that they've just started to pick up. But of course, you're not seeing him. Oh, I thought for a second they would get the jump over onto Storm, but nope. Just gonna turn around, start putting some pressure over onto the mid tower, see if they can force them to come to them. Atos gets dropped over here onto Tomato. Doesn't seem to care too much about that blood right. He does have his Pugna off to the side. He's gonna be able to continue to heal up. They're gonna regroup over here on the high ground, hoping that perhaps they'll try to come and defend this. They've got plenty of blinks to try to deal with this. Tower will go down. And that looks like TSM. They're gonna hold their position currently. Team Spirit trying to decide what they want to do. They're going to go regroup over onto their own high ground. And they do have a smoke over Miposhka, so it looks like they're going to try to make a play here, see if they can get a grab.
Yotaro is ready to go. He's got BKB of his own, so now he has protection against the Night Stalker silence, something that before would have plagued him in a fight. Manta does not remove it. But with his BKB, he can go on whoever he wants to go on. There is still the problem of decrep, of Glimmer Capes potentially, of the reduced damage from Nether Ward, but he's finally ready to fight.
Oh yeah, there's a ping. There's a ping.
That Observer Ward got spotted very briefly. They know they're coming. Here they go. Brow's position. He's spottable.
Is spottable. He does have the sheep stick.
Yeah, he got spotted. He did not realize
Spirit
it.
goes for a second smoke play. They're going to see if they can wrap around. They know a general idea of where TSM is right now.
They just need to change the angle. Miposhka will set up here, maybe break smokes. He does. That was a mistake. Ooh.
Zip forward, coming up from Toronto Tokyo. They see Saberlight, but they'll be able to go and immediately throw out the Glimmer Cape. Yatoro jumping forward here, has that BKB. And there's so much damage. All of the guns zip back and forth. Saberlight, he's trying to fight through this, but he is just taking too much damage as people will also fall. Moon Meander going for that reload here. Is going to have to push away. Tomato and Brow, they're still alive. But this IO is not looking too great as they're going to send over some of these illusions. There's going to be the buyback immediately as they take out the IO. They go right back in again. The life drain coming out from Dubu. Bryle getting dragged back by Toronto Tokyo. The Fiend script coming into play. We'll be able to slow them down just a little bit. It's going to get canceled out. Miposhka is going to fall. So they're chasing after Mira. They need to close the gap. Toronto Tokyo is sitting very low, and they want that kill, but they're... Oh, Saberlight chasing after Mira is going to fall. Toronto Tokyo has, like, no mana left. He's silenced. They have too much damage. Tomato with the double kill.
All right, they get their buyback team fight that they wanted. AM blinking in, and that was the moment everybody comes back into the fight. The Rupture was already burned to kill Saberlight. It was very effective, and TSM had a decent response by hexing and stunning the Storm Spirit, but Team Spirit, after killing the Night Stalker, they were able to run down their support opponents, cleaning up the IO there. There was that triple buyback, and Yotaro took some damage there. He's able to escape, though. Storm Spirit had to burn a lot of mana to get out. Brawl was running directly at him, but getting these cleanup kills were huge. Mira and Toronto Tokyo, that was perfect. They knew that Saberlight knew which one was more important, and it was definitely the Storm Spirit. I wonder if he would have lived maybe if he ran to the left and balled to high ground instead of fighting, but he probably realized that the likelihood of him getting out of there was low. So.
Yeah, he was sitting very, very low during that whole thing. Would have been pretty difficult.
So they got Aegis. They spent a lot of gold on buybacks. They made it up with the fight being cleaned up afterwards and with getting
collapse. Oh, did Tomato not see him? All right, well, he's got to see him now. BKB comes out. It's going to be the reload play coming in, and it's going to allow Yatoro to escape, as now they don't really have any solutions here for... Oh, never mind, they do.
BKB ran out.
I thought he had a little bit more time left, but apparently not. Not when there's a... It's hard to see when there's all those glowing hands floating around Saberlight.
Yeah, he spent a little time hitting the Dragonite rather than running, and that cost him big time.
But again, it's going to keep Yatoro alive. He's got himself a Basher now. He's working towards the Abyssal Blade. He's looking to go back in. Dubu hiding over in the tree line. Goes, drops the ward immediately. He's immediately following up to with that Decrepify. Doesn't want to have to deal with Yatoro. Yeah,
that's really scary when you're playing Pugna at this point. Does he have a Basher? He does, actually. So if he just gets a bash, he's dead.
Yep.
So that was absolutely relevant.
They're already hunting. Look at this Tomato leading the charge. Has the blink available. Doesn't have the BKB for another couple seconds, but they're at least forcing them out of this area. So we continue to see the anti-mage just teleport away, continue to push out, be a bit of a rat.
Dragonite's got his eggs, though. So super high magic resistance pumping out of him. So Dragon form is going to be really powerful from here on out. Decent damage, too. He's picked up the AC, give him attack speed and all that good stuff.
Only 4K net worth lead going over to the side of TSM currently. They'll pop Lincolns over on Bryle. Put a little Nightmare out. They'll just transfer that over to Moon. No problem. A little bit of zip in that bottom lane. Just trying to clear up the creeps, but the assault is on here from TSM. Still having that Aegis on the Leshrek. Plus the Shard. It's kind of difficult for them to approach here. Storm having to be careful. Lincolns again. Will get popped. Just seeing Storm do Storm things.
Yep.
Another Nightmare tossed through. Moon continuing to keep alive. They've got the chain of keeping everyone alive, with Dubu also pouring that life in. And just how do you get Bryle off of these buildings?
It's hard. Once he gets the splitter set up, how do you go in?
I
he
don't
gets
know.
Hex.
He does get Hex over onto the back line. Says Dubu. He's going to initiate this fight. Zipping away, though, immediately. Dubu sitting a little bit low. Collapse. It's already popped that BKB. This is a little bit scary now for the side of Team Spirit.
It is. They were able to keep everyone alive. Brow's mana is pretty low, but still has Aegis getting some
Aegis,
back.
Yeah. Another zip forward. They're looking to see if they can put the silence down on the Storm, but another Nightmare transferring over to the IO.
Oh, good glyph timing. That was the last creep wave. They're going to have to wait 20 seconds now, most likely. They clean up the Observer Ward, but glyph will pop in at any second here. If it's in time, there it is.
There it is. Just continue to zip, and look at this. They want to try to stop this nonsense, but it's proving to be quite difficult with the Storm with his 4 null talismans and a sheepstick.
Yeah, I don't know if they can kill it. Now they're going to push out bottom. If bottom had gotten closer, it would have also removed backdoor, so...
I mean, they're chipping through it. It's taken a while, but...
They're opting for the right-click method. AC really helping out here.
That's pretty much all they can do, because Yatoro is cutting through the other creep wave, so they'll eventually take the mid. It just takes a little bit longer than what they'd like.
Nicely done. Yeah, and that last attempt.
Oh, Yatoro! He's gonna get hit. It gets bashed up. He's gonna start man-fighting it with Saberlight, but teleports a little bit too late with the reload. Yatoro BKBs, gets out.
All right. Got to get farm on the map in the meantime while your team is cheesing out those creep waves with the ball lightning. But they get the mid racks. It's going to make their game a little easier. Definitely not over, but easier. And with the invis, Dragonite aiming to stay farmed as much as possible while they keep their waves pushed out. And they're pinging top now. Again, because they want to control Roche, those are the lanes of pressure. Mid lane is pretty common as a tower to siege initially. So taking out top next would just allow them to mostly sit top and threaten ending the game while controlling Roche. But they're getting aggressive.
They are getting aggressive. The Aegis does get reclaimed, though, so I'm not sure if they're going to full commit. I think they were trying to make use of this invis over on Tomato that he just picked up, seeing if perhaps they could get a pick off. But no, they've got the smoke play coming out from Team Spirit, perhaps realizing that their window has just opened with the Aegis being removed, and they're going to start hunting.
Yeah, this Shadowblade is a bit interesting on Leshrac, but I think he's doing it because he's already got a Hex, so he can basically, it helps offset Boots' loss, because this is his 6th item. He's going to be looking for Anti-Mage, and therefore be able to do a Hex into follow-up with help from his team. So, and he doesn't really need, normally you go Blink Dagger on almost every Leshrac game, because it allows you to Blink Hex, or you can Blink follow-up on an ally stun, is usually the other option. But Shadowblade is going to work kind of similar. He can also turn it into a Silver Edge afterwards. Then he can break Anti-Mage's passive and actually do a huge amount of damage to the AM.
Saberlight, his smoke's going to pop. He goes immediately. Mira blinking away, but they'll follow up. And then they'll just back off because they weren't going to be able to go for that kill as, again, Anti-Mage doing Anti-Mage things in this top area.
That was cool. Mira with the spider legs, the Force Staff, and the Blink Dagger is able to get so far away from the Night Stalker that even if he's the one most out of position, he's still so speedy that it's hard for Saberlight to lock him down and to guarantee that kill because he gets back to his team so quickly. So in this case where their catch is a little bit weak, if it's not Dragonite or a Hex catching you, then he can get away from the Night Stalker at least. Oh, and he found a Timeless Relic on Lesh. Such a good item on this hero. Tons of disable, lots of spell damage, the perfect neutral item.
And an Arcane Rune on top of that.
Also good.
Very good.
That's a happy Lish. 12, 3, and 13. Brawl's having a great game. And his team is able to back him up quite well, too.
Well, we've completed the Agnum Scepter now for Toronto, Tokyo, so we're going to start seeing these big vortexes. Vortices? Vortices, right?
Sure.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing vortices coming out from this storm.
Do I look like a weatherman, Moxie? Why would you ask me? Get it? It's a weather joke.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I got it.
Okay. I really thought you'd laugh.
I'm going to sit here in awkward silence.
Really thought that one was a banger. I mean, I said it like 4 seconds late, but still. It's fine.
Blink forward over in the mid lane. Tomato just going to continue to push out. And yeah, they're just kind of playing this game of cat and mouse, dodging back and forth for now. Just waiting for that opportune moment. Probably waiting for the next Roche over on the side of TSM, but it'll be a while. May respawn in about 3 seconds. Very rarely does it do that, though. Let's see. Nope, not yet. 28 more seconds.
Yutaro with the ninja gear. Trying to spot out, break smokes, get away
breaking.
after.
Saberlight. Oh, he doesn't feel like he wants to go in. All right, Toronto Tokyo dragging over onto Saberlight, onto Brown. They've got so much damage with the Snapfire Kisses. Saberlight sitting a little bit low. They'll go in for this thing, but they'll still end up losing Saberlight. Tomato blinking forward, sees Maposhka. He's a little bit cut off from the rest of his team, though. It's a little bit awkward here. So they'll back off over on the side of TSM.
It was a great catch. 3-second stun on 2 important heroes. They get some follow-up there.
Oh, Tomato, though, seeing the opening over on Maposhka. Is he going to be able to take down both the supports is the question. Oh, this is not looking good for Mira. That's a double kill for Tomato. So they do get a consolation prize over on the side of TSM.
Definitely overconfident.
For the reload play here. Ooh.
They're trying to push out the creep wave. And
they are, but Yatoro is here.
He is, but...
Gonna go for it.
Their mana's fine.
He's gonna poke away over at Moon Meander. Okay, Aeon Disc does get proc. They're gonna leave. And over in the mid lane, they do spot out Collapse. Another fireball over onto the ground. Get a couple of these hits. Can they finish them off in time? Yes, they can. Unstoppable.
Actually, Dragon Knight carry is what we're looking at, guys. It's surprising. You think like, oh, DK has okay damage, not that much. No, he's got an AC, he's got a Crystallis dude, and he got the kill. And Penta Sword.
And Roche is up.
An actual DK with damage. He gets a huge pick off. Only downside in that moment was the first Aeon Disc proc on Io, but it protects him. They're keeping their tier 2s alive. Top lane is relatively safe, and if they can get a free Axe, that's going to be good.
That's going to be real good.
Could do it on Io. I don't think that's good. Definitely not good on Pugna. They're going to put it on Io. Free Spirits. We'll see if he clicks the button. If it's not him, it's got to be Night Stalker. It's pretty sick on Night Stalker, actually. They're going to give it to Leshrac. This is one of those moments where I'm like, is that really the best choice? Because this guy's, like, I'm just thinking like 10 minutes in the future, he's going to have 10,000 gold, nothing to spend it on. This is one of the things that hurts. Without a doubt, though, his is the best one available, I would say. Nihilism is really fantastic right now. You can use it in combination with BKB if you want to protect yourself. It's going to decrypt the whole enemy team. If Aim jumps in and Mantas, you can just Nihilism all of his illusions. They're not now attacking your Io.
It's true. You do have to deal with this nonsense, though, of Toronto Tokyo continuously just zipping back and forth. And there is an army showing up. They're definitely trying to make them come home on the side of...
TSM keeps Catapult alive. This is huge. Storm can't cheese this out.
They're going to go for a little bit of a reload play, too. See if they can push them out. Okay, they jump forward over onto Maposhka. They get themselves a nice little pick. Anti-Mage teleporting back in here, though. They know that the reload's coming. Dubu hiding over into the sideline here. Come back in. It is just move, though. So they'll turn their attention over to Dubu. Dubu, he has a gem. They don't want to end up losing it, but looks like they're going to end up losing both of the supports.
They do, yeah.
Oh, they ping out the gem.
Yeah, Dubu tried to save his life a little bit with a Glimmer Cape cast, so that cast range is very low right now. Not able to do so. Probably should just ditch. So good and bad for TSM. That looks like it was a dieback on Io from much before, from that mid fight that went really well. So he's dead for a long time at a good moment in the game. This is like one of those ones that actually feels all right to me. But Leshrac opts to go back for Boots of Travel. So that means he's sold his Yule Scepter. And now is carrying BOTs too. Wants movement speed, wants to be able to get around the map more. They need this to deal with the anti-mage. That's been one of the things hurting them, is that they didn't have good ways to deal with the split push. It's made it hard for them to force high ground again.
Yeah, I feel like that's super necessary because of just the way that you keep having Outthrow just knocking on your door and hitting your buildings. Like, you can't afford to allow that to continue.
That is true.
I'm just going to see the courier zipping by here. Hasn't picked anything up, but we'll just pick it off.
So playing safe for now. Don't want to force their supports to buy back again. This is why Bryle is setting up the stuns in the mid lane. Stack these babies up. They don't get to push. And he's just gotten the 27 talent as well, the Split Earth Radius. Oh,
Ryle seeing an opening, but immediately going to get pounced upon by Toronto Tokyo. They follow up though with the feed. take down Bryle the first time. Saberlight, he's in the middle of so many heroes and too much damage. He's going to be the next one to fall. Bryle, though, coming back up after that Aegis Tomato, giving up a couple of these clicks, but a very just fast and sudden strike against TSM coming out from the side of Spirit. They'll pay off in spades.
They lost a gem again, I think, on
Yes,
Night Stalker. Why did they do this? I think I don't know. I don't know why Brawl went in like this. He got the Hex off. He hit him with the Silver Edge. That was cool and all, but he gets responded. His Aegis died, and then they lose a Night Stalker, and the supports are still not up. They didn't buy back, so there was definitely no plan to be like, this is our fight, guys. It's just like, I don't think they expected Team Spirit to fully react there. So puts them in another little window where they're not farming for 60 seconds. With that said, they are still ahead by 13k net worth. That part is still going really well for them. And it's not like AM's going to get much more farmed here. He can get Shard, which can be quite good. In fact, I'd say it's very good against Leshrac.
He's not looking to get Shard, though. He's got
this.
Ags. He's looking for an Ags Blessing and the Moonstone.
He should buy this Shard. I think this is a Shard that AMs just genuinely do not buy enough. It reduces spell damage from enemies nearby you. Who does spell damage? Leshrac. Dragon Knight does some. Like, it's not bad. It's like Pugna Ward, basically. Why not buy it? I'm confused.
Know.
Lesh does the only counter is like you can break AM and it's based on counter spells. So if he's broken, it's not gonna decrease enemy damage. But for 1400 gold, the close radius is 300 and it's 30% spell damage reduction. That's insanely high. Anyways, there might be a fight.
Alright, I'm gonna go use that Silver Edge, move forward, see if anybody's gonna try to push this creep wave. But no one's gonna take the bait, so TSM gonna go back into their base and wait patiently.
The only other thing I can think of is that he just wants damage more. I mean, if he gets a Moonshard and he gets kills or takes Raxes that he wouldn't have gotten with a Shard, then like in a straight up teamfight sense, the Shard's better for sure. But attack speed from Moonshard and Ag's ability to like poking out of the fight have other benefits as well.
So elusive right now. It's so hard to get your hands on this anti-mage.
It definitely is. And even if you catch him, chain stunning him all the way till death is tough too.
BKB completed now for Bryle. Have that for the next fight. This is going pretty late here.
It is, yeah, and he's backpacking his Kaya Sange, which is a little bit rough, but makes some sense. He'll BKB swap it back in. Kaya Sange, more mana regen, more spell lifesteal, a rare case where that aspect of the Kaya is really, really good with the Bloodstone here. And then when he is not 5-man, looks like BOTs is what he's going to want to do. So let's see if they can get a catch. He's silver-edged. Both teams are close.
Zip forward again onto the back lines, plus the Snapfire Kisses. And there's going to be the jump over onto Moon Meander. And they get the little bit of the life drain from Dew, but the zip back, the Saberlight jumping on everyone else over on line. Separation pretty big here, as it looks like now they're going to try to run. Oh, but the hit from Tomato, they have Storm. They've got the Silence. That's going to be a dead Toronto Tokyo. BKB comes out now from Collapse. He's got the Rupture, but he just cannot survive the amount of damage coming out from Tomato.
Really nicely done there by Dragon Knight. The Tomato jumps in. The AoE Dragon Tail is what catches those two on the back line. But TSM perfectly placed for this, and look what they're doing. They're setting it for AM.
They want this AM so bad. The buyback coming out from Storm. Tomato gets the stun off over onto Yatoro. Miposhka's here, though. Jump forward, though, from Tomato. Sees Miposhka, knows that they have to get rid of him, as now Yotaro on the back line. No, they're not going to be able to quite close the gap, are they? They're so fast. Bryle chases after Yatoro. Yes, they'll get the kill on the anti-mage.
Almost a save by Miposhka. That Nightmare dodged the split earth hit, but Yatoro in his panic blink straight down. He was visible still. They easily chase him down using the nihilism, and he ends up dying. He's got buyback, so it is certainly not over, but this is going to finally give TSM a moment to fight. Here he is breaking Invis to land a stun. That gets used. Watch for the Nightmare save on Yatoro. The Hex comes. Nightmare dodges that. The Hex ends shortly afterwards, but he blinks in vision and they run him down. And finally, TSM is going to be able to go high ground. They're relocating in the live game very briefly so that Bryle can cut the top wave. They don't want to mess around with any shenanigans here. All the creep waves are going to be moving in.
It's just so hard to deal with the Storm, right? The Storm just keeps zipping through and clearing out everyone. They need to have all lanes pushing, and again, there we go. Usual Storm stuff. Oh, but the Silence over onto Toronto Tokyo. The bash on top of it. This BK BKB is going to have to do some serious work here as they'll be able to go teleport away, but
Not
I'm
bad.
sure now they're feeling very scared.
Yeah, the creep wave is still alive. They glyphed it. There's no TP on Storm. That means that the next time he does ball
He's not going to have it. The jump forward over onto Miposhka. They drop the blood right, but it's too late. Miposhka's already dead. They'll buy back now over on the anti-mage. Buy back on the main. The zip forward. Oh, look at that vortex coming out from Toronto, Tokyo. It's incredibly beautiful, but they just don't have enough. He's going to fall and pay for that. As Saberlight hits over onto Yatsu. They're focused down on the tower, though. TSM, they have their eyes on the prize. How do they get in there? They don't have the storm for 115 seconds. They'll take down the buildings and start making their way over to this top. They are looking to be very, very careful and precise and get these megas from the side of TSM.
Tiebreakers for days incoming, potentially. If they can get this megas, go for the tier 4.
Mira jumping forward. The rupture gets used.
Oh, great.
Saberlight doesn't care, but they do have the grip over onto Brown. But the heal coming in from Moon Meander, coming up from Stubu. Trying to keep it alive. They finally managed to take down Bryle. It takes some doing. Buyback now coming out from Bryle. He's going to try to come back in. Saberlight, he's still alive. He's been decrepified. He's trying to move over on the side of Bryle. He's right back into the fight. And the heal over onto Saberlight. He's back. He had himself a nice little snack, and he's ready to slay again. As TSM starts hitting these buildings, they're running the calculations. They know that this is looking damn good for them right now in this tiebreaker as they get themselves megas. No storm still for 60-something seconds. No Bane to worry about either. They bought back on the Snapfire. The question is, do they stay?
They're buying items at the secret shop, but at the same time, they're going in.
They're thinking about going back in again. Use that rupture. Tomato not caring at all.
They still have AM ulti, and it's a refresher for Leshrac.
Jumping into the back lines over onto Mira. Bryle continuing to just throw down these stuns. They'll get a stun off over onto Saberlight, but now Collapse, he's been turned into a little piggy. He's got to run back into the base. Run home, Collapse. They don't care. Bryle, he wants this kill. He's got to be careful that he manages to find it. As they'll take down one of the other towers. Tomato, eyes on the prize. You can see these Snapfire kisses raining down Hellfire. Tomato says, stop that this instant. These are our buildings. This tiebreaker is going to belong to us. We want infinite tiebreakers going out as this ancient falls and the GG gets called.
TSM, well-deserved victory there. Boy, they dismantled that storm in a couple cases towards the end. That glyph, that catch, he has to TP back. Then when he goes in, he's got to deal with creeps in the base with the Sable follow-up, but he didn't have BKB anymore was the problem. So when he jumped in and pulled them all together, he gets silenced. And that's why they got him killed. All because they